Now, for an exclusive report on space flight training, we're going to warp speed to Space Camp, a renowned astronaut educational facility in Huntsville, Alabama. Levar Burton, alias Geordi LaForge of Star Trek The Next Generation, has volunteered to be our special reporter at large.
Hi, I'm Levar Burton, and behind me is a mock-up of the Space Shuttle Enterprise, the very same one used to train future astronauts. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to blast off in a space shuttle and speed toward the stars? Come on inside and I'll give you a hands-on look at what today's astronauts must accomplish before they leave the launch pad. And this way you'll have a better understanding of what the characters on Star Trek's Enterprise must achieve in order to become a Starfleet crew member. Come on. Star Trek has always envisioned a future where we are able to transport ourselves to distant planets and beyond. And who knows, after training at a place like this, you may be booking a first-class ticket to Mars someday. Maybe even aboard the USS Enterprise.
Roger, Houston. We copy a go for OMS 2 to line with space station.
Space Camp gives a young guy or gal a chance to open up their mind, to use the space program as a testing ground for their skills. We teach leadership, we teach decision-making, self-confidence, and teamwork. And all those things go into Space Camp.
We're going to take you through several phases of training with myself as the proverbial guinea pig. Now, it's understood that Starfleet personnel have overcome the problem of weightlessness, but here in the 20th century, it still remains a real-life dilemma. To get used to weightlessness and other unique sensations that astronauts experience in space, we're going to show you a few specially designed simulation devices, which, I must admit, look like a lot of fun. First, the UAT, the Underwater Astronaut Trainer.
Down a little bit. Down a little bit. Roger, right there.
In the microgravity chair, we can simulate what it's actually like to walk on the moon. I wonder if Michael Jackson ever practiced on one of these. If you remember, in the first Star Trek motion picture, Spock had to suit up for a very dangerous mission outside the safe confines of the Enterprise. Since 1965, NASA's astronauts have continually embarked on risky missions outside their spacecrafts. In the MMU, or Manned Maneuvering Unit, we can experience what it's like to actually walk in space. Some other elaborate machines include the maneuvering pod, which allows you to float on a column of air 30 feet high. The centrifuge, where you can experience the same G-forces that astronauts have to endure.
You can imagine 7.5 million pounds of thrust being generated by all the shuttle's engines. You're accelerating very rapidly. In 45 seconds after you leave the pad, you're already going supersonic. And for 4.5 million pounds of hardware to be pushed supersonic in that period of time, you can guess it's a pretty good ride.
Now, by far, the most intimidating experience has to be the multi-axis, which spins you in 3 different directions. If this doesn't give you the feeling of hurtling through space, nothing will. Just be sure not to lose your lunch. Oh! Whoa! Now, it's important to point out that Geordi, the character I play, as chief engineer of the Enterprise, is constantly having to hit the books to stay current with, well, the latest Starfleet policies and warp theory. And here at Space Camp, kids and adults must learn the principles of rocketry, propulsion, space science, and aerospace engineering. Well, there you have it, a small glimpse of what it takes to be prepared to travel in space. Of course, training for a flight aboard the space shuttle could take years, and Starfleet personnel like Commander LaForge undergo an even more advanced training program. But the thrilling future of space travel depicted in Star Trek actually starts right here. I'm Levar Burton. Thanks for joining me. And you know, if the people here don't mind, I'm going to hitch another ride on the multi-axis.